In this video lesson, we'll learn even more about how to solve logarithmic equations. This is the third video in the sequence. So log equations, the harder they get, all it means is that there will be more use of the properties of logs. So let's just dive into some examples. Start with 2 log of x plus 1 equals log of 5x minus 1. So we have 1 log on each side, but we have the coefficient of 2, which we haven't had before. This is pretty easy to fix because multiplying a constant times the log is the same as taking that power on the inside. So the 2 goes on the inside of the log and we get x plus 1 squared. Well, now we just have 1 log on each side, and we just have to set those insides equal to each other. From there, we can solve for x. So we get x plus 1 squared equals 5x minus 1. As it turns out, this will simplify the just quadratic equation. You can learn more about how to solve these in other video lectures. So I'll go through this in not too much detail. First, we bring all the terms to one side of the equation and we get x squared minus 3x plus 2 equals 0. Next, this equation is actually factorable. So let me free up some room and I'll get to factoring it for you. So we have x squared minus 3x plus 2 equals 0. Alright, so how do we solve this? Well, for more details on how to factor quadratic equations, you can look up my video lesson, Factoring Quadratic Equations. Right now I'll just tell you that it's x minus 1 times x minus 2, which you can check by foiling. This tells us that x minus 1 equals 0 or x minus 2 equals 0, giving us two possible answers, x equals 1 or x equals 2. Now, when we're dealing with logarithmic equations, it's important to check whether or not these answers work. So I'm going to write them in the corner, x equals 1 and x equals 2. And now I'll plug them in just to be sure. Alright, so if we plug in 1, we get 2 log 2 equals log 4, because it's 5 minus 1. Well, 2 log 2 is log of 2 squared, which is indeed equal to log 4, because 2 squared is 4. So this is correct. So x equals 1 does work. Now let's try equals 2. 2 times log of 2 plus 1 is 3 equals log, and 2 times 5 is 10 minus 1 is 9. So we get 2 log 3 equals 9. Again, we do the same thing. 2 log 3 equals to log of 3 squared, or in other words, 9. So indeed, log of 3 squared equals log of 9. Since this is true, x equals 2 must also be a solution. So we have two solutions, x equals 1 and x equals 2. Alright, well, let's do another example. Let's take 2 log 4 of x minus 3 plus log 2 of x minus 2 equals 1. Now, here we're running into some problems. Earlier we always had the same base, but now we have a base 4 and a base 2. In addition, we have equals to 1, which isn't a log of anything, it's just a number. First, let's deal with the base. We're going to simplify the base 4 to base 2 using the base change formula. So if you remember, the base change formula, since we want base 2, we do log base 2 of x minus 3, and then we divide that by log base 2 of the old base, which is 4. But log base 2 of 4 is actually just 2. So we're dividing by 2. And remember, this is because 2 squared equals 4. But anyway, the expression simplifies to log base 2 of x minus 3. Okay, so now we have two logarithms that are the same. same base. We can rewrite our expression as log base 2 of x minus 3 plus log base 2 of x minus 2. And this is equal to 1. Okay. Well, we use the log addition formula where we multiply the insides of the logs. So I get log base 2 of x minus 3 times x minus 2 equals to 1. Now if you watched log equations 1, you might know what to do. You do the same sort of circle thing. This is just a method of memorizing what the logarithm actually means. And what it means is 2 to the 1 equals x minus 3 times x minus 2. We start at the base and we go around full circle to get the expression 2 to the 1 equals x minus 3 times x minus 2, which is the same as the logarithm. But 2 to the 1 equals 2. So actually what we're solving is now a quadratic equation. X minus 3 times x minus 2 equals 2. So to solve this, first we must FOIL. So when we FOIL, we get x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 2. Now for more details on solving quadratic equations, once again, just look at my other video lectures. There are several about how to solve quadratic equations. Next, we're going to factor here. There's a video lesson for that too. So x squared minus 5x plus 4 factors as x minus 1 times x minus 4. So we get x minus 1 equals 0 or x minus 4 equals 0. This gives two possible answers, x equals 1 or x equals 4. Again, we have to check, do these answers work? Sometimes with logarithms, you run into the problem of trying to take a negative logarithm, which is never allowed. So anyway, if we plug in x equals 1, we get 2 log base 4 of negative 2 plus log base 2 of negative 1 equals 1. Well, there it is, negative numbers under the logarithm. That's never allowed. So that expression is meaningless and it definitely can't be equal. So x cannot be equal to 1. Well, we still have hopes for x equals 4. If we plug in 4, we get 2 log 4 of 1 plus log base 2 of 2 equals 1. Well, any log of 1 is 0. So all we have is log base 2 of 2 equals 1. And that is true. 1 log base 2 of 2 is equal to 1. So x equals 4 is indeed a solution. Well, thank you for watching this video lesson, and I hope you found it helpful.